Bedford and Co. And as you may be able to guess from the array of grilled foods in front of
Can
us, yeah, we've got like the grill in front of us. We're talking about grilling vegetables, but just not your average vegetables. We're talking about grilling sort of the underappreciated vegetables.
Right.
So a lot of times when we have a grill, we think of tomatoes and onions, but
those are good.
Those are great
good.
too.
It's okay.
But can you sort of take anything on a grill? I mean, you've got an array.
I think you can. Well, we're very fortunate here. We have a wood burning appliance. It's huge. It burns at about 1,000 degrees.
Wow.
So pretty much anything that you put on it tastes good.
Right.
So we've got a couple interesting things that you might not think that you'd grill, like beets, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we start the beets absolutely raw. We don't peel them. We just sort of wash them a little bit and throw them right on the grill. Keep a hairy eyeball on them. Turn them. They get very, very black, and then you can sort of just break them apart, and they're creamy on the inside and absolutely delicious and full of smoke and deliciousness.
Right, and I think for a lot of people, that's actually the reason that they don't want to cook beets is because they're like, I gotta peel it, and then my hands.
Exactly. Well, and the other thing is too, when
like,
you might, when you're, I always tell people if you want to grill beets, you have to grill them until they look like they're inedible.
Right.
Once they look like they're inedible, they're done.
Right. Keep going.
Keep
beyond
going.
all reasonable explanation.
Yes, that's correct.
What other vegetables do you recommend?
We have two kinds of asparagus. We have a traditional medium asparagus here, and then we have white asparagus, which we sous vide first. And then put on the wood grill.
And why cook them first?
Well, because they tend to be a little bit woody, and so they burn more quickly than they cook through. They don't respond the way beets do in the grill, so we just try to get them a little tender, and then just 3 or 4 minutes on the wood grill.
I think for a lot of people, the fear with asparagus is like if you have a grill that has, a typical grill has holes, it's like, they can fall through. Like, what is your recommendation for cooking with smaller vegetables that sometimes
there's
can
all
fall through?
kinds of things now you can buy in fancy food shops. From cast iron grates, right? So stuff doesn't fall through. I think aluminum foil's fine. I think if you put the aluminum foil down and you poke holes through it, if you're using gas, you're not going to get a whole lot of flavor from gas. But if you're using charcoal and you have the small vegetables and you poke the holes through the foil, it's going to work fine.
And what about other smaller vegetables?
We're grilling apricots, going with our burrata, right? So we cut them in quarters. You can cut them in half, get a nice char on one side, flip them, and then you can use them with a savory dish or use them with ice cream. There's a million ways. I love grilled fruit. I love to grill watermelon, for example. With a little lime and a little salt and a little char on there. It's just the most delicious thing ever.
And do you find that the caramelization is different on fruits versus vegetables because of the sugar content? Do you have to watch it a little more?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I think that listen, some vegetables have carrots have a lot of sugar in them, right? It's a very, very similar situation to fruit. So yes, you've got to be very mindful of what you're cooking and if you're cooking on a natural source, wood or charcoal, look at are there flare-ups, or you got to move it around. You make sure just be engaged in the process.
And certain types of vegetables, obviously, you mentioned the sugar content. In carrots, you mentioned sous vide, the asparagus. Are there certain vegetables that sort of don't react as well to the grill that you think sort of you've tried and said, like maybe like snap peas aren't great on a grill?
Yeah, peas in general are not great on the grill.
Yeah,
they tend to really fall in the cracks.
Right.
But that being said, in the shell they actually work quite well, and you can actually get some really nice. Throw right on the grill, and you can actually get some really nice smoke and flavor on them.
How do you keep an eye on it and know when it's done? Is it similar to cooking it off the grill? How do you kind of know when it's done?
Yeah, I think I use a skewer. The skewer is really helpful in cooking beets, for example.
Yeah.
You can get, or cake testers, it's one of our best friends in the kitchen in testing fish or meat or early vegetables or anything.
Yeah.
And you put the little cake tester up to your lip, and if it's warm, stuff's done.
Yeah, and what do you think are the biggest grilling mistakes you see with vegetables? Like, where can you screw up the most?
I think, like with grilling in general, people tend to fuss around too much with it. Like, put it down and go do something. Get busy doing something else.
Right.
Leave it alone for a minute. Let
Especially the beets.
especially walk away.
Yeah.
It's the one thing you actually walk away from. And then, when you see it start to char, then just get the tongue, just sort of move it. But don't mess with the food too much. Same with the carrots. You need the carrots to char.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for teaching us about alternative vegetables to grill. Really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.